Well, I've been in Houston for more than 20 years now, but I was raised in Austin, Texas, and moved to Houston in 1999 to attend the Texas Southern University to study communications, broadcast journalism to be exact. And I studied communications throughout my college career at TSU. And my junior year, had the opportunity to interview for a Mickey Leland congressional internship, and was very fortunate to be an intern in 2003, which seems like a long, long time ago, which I think it is. And I served as a communications intern for the congressman then named Chet Edwards. And he's no longer in Congress anymore. And I was bit by the political bug. There were a lot of things that I did through high school, through grade school, in and out of school while on my college campus. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta. And so voting and education and the importance of the process was always very dear to me. But after my experience in DC, it really changed my life. And I knew that I wanted to do communications in public service. So once I finished school and came back, I interviewed for a job in 2005 with the county clerk's office, and it was a public affairs administrative job. Kind of didn't know what to expect. It was learning about elections, but I thought, okay, outside of knocking on doors and registering people all over the place, just really a passion for me. Let me take it a step further and really learn behind the scenes how that works. And so in 2005, I was hired as an administrative assistant. A lady named Beverly Kaufman, who was the county clerk, very well respected and been the county clerk for multiple decades. And she gave an opportunity to this young college girl who not only had an interest in this, and six positions later in 2020, I was elected county clerk. So 15 of my years was actually spent in the elections division, learning all the nuts and bolts, how elections really worked. This was taking it a step further from why elections are important. This was, how does this machine work? You know, the laws, election laws in the state of Texas, whether I agreed with some of those laws or not, you know, how do you make this machine tick? And Harris County is, as long as I've ever known, has been the third largest county in the nation and the largest in Texas. So there was always a lot of eyes on Harris County, how we did things here, what our best practices were. And of course, we're one of the most diverse counties. Only in a county like Harris County can a Teneshia Hudspeth be a first time person running for office and get elected in a presidential election running against my old boss in 2020. So my story is so unconventional in so many different ways. When I started working in the clerk's office, I had no clue that I could be the county clerk one day. You know, county government looked very different. It was very white male dominated, if I could be very honest. There were not very many women in leadership. Of course, the county clerk was a woman at the time, but the diversity piece came much, much later on in women in leadership in Harris County. And so you can only, sometimes people say, look, if you don't see it, you can't believe it or achieve it. But I had a lot of great mentors along the way from all different backgrounds, from different genders that supported me and helped me mold into this race. And whether I was working in the office or serving as a civic engagement chair on the Urban League board or with my sorority as a social action chair, I found myself teetering between two different worlds, being a voter advocate, right? And being someone who knew how the office ticks and all the things we had to do. So I will say this is definitely not just a labor of love for me. It is a passion. It is a calling. You know, 15 years of working in the office, I'd pretty much learned all the things about not just the elections portion of the clerk's office that gets all the attention, but all the other important factors of recording documents and vital records and business records and property. And so, you know, mentors have been supportive along the way. I served under 4 county clerks. I learned what good things not to do and maybe some things that you may not want to do. So through experience, but like I mentioned, outside of this, I played different roles in the community. You know, I went through the class 34 of Leadership Houston. I'm a graduate of the Women's Campaign School at Yale University. diversity. And so at some point, I knew that I wanted to take this a little step further, right? I'm passionate about women. I'm a girl's girl. And so I wanted to see more women get to the place that I am today, and so many have. Look, I mean, look at our commissioner's court. We have women on commissioner's court. That was not a thing, in 2005 when I first was hired. And so I was taking other opportunities to learn all the different facets. Again, wasn't sure that I would run for office, but I knew I wanted to help other women that were capable and had put in the hard work to get elected. So a lot of the behind scenes work was being a community person, going out, sharing the importance of the process for all communities, right? And the truth of the matter, in many diverse communities, especially the African American community, there was a history of suppression when it came to the voting process, and in some ways still today, right? Thank you for that question. I think that's such an important question, especially with the political climate today, instilling trust, because there's so much negative rhetoric that is played out each and every day, especially on social media. And so one of the things that I've prided myself on in my leadership is transparency. That's how you build trust with the public, with the people that you serve every day. That means kind of opening our bellies and opening our door and bringing people behind the veil, right? We're talking about this now, but in August, we're going to have an open house, which you'll be invited to, you and the Defender team, to see where elections are ran, where our new headquarters are, and some of the phases of the things that have to happen before an election. So I pride myself on that, also serving in a nonpartisan spirit. Yes, I have to choose a party to run for county clerk on. In some states, county clerks are appointed, but in Texas, you run for office. And so while, yes, I run as a Democrat, that I choose to serve with a nonpartisan spirit, and that it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican or independent or Green Party, that everyone is brought into the process to understand it, right? So that they see that we are building trust, we're following the law, we're doing it in an equitable way. And so working with parties of different ideologies, right? It doesn't, when I walk into this office every day, or any of my offices across the county, I put my personal hat, I take my personal hat on, and I put my professional hat on, and I think about things from every perspective